I read somewhere that the definition of insanity was doing the same thing over and over again, and each time expecting a different result. So if I hold myself to that standard, I have been suffering insanity when it comes to my EDC knife. I have lost my 940 Osborne, which I've had for about 7 years. This is the 7th Benchmade that I have lost over the years, and I'm all done. I'm all done losing $150, $200 knives because I'm going to stop the insanity right now. So we have an important decision to make, because a man's EDC knife is a very important decision. You got to live with it. You got to carry it. I love Benchmade knives. I love clipped knives. I love the knives that are being offered by Spyderco and Benchmade and Cold Steel and Chris Reeves and Kershaw and Zero Tolerance. All of those wonderful, wonderful knives. Excellent tools. They just evolved to the point where they're just almost perfection. One-handed use, pocket opening. They're wonderful knives. And but they don't work for me, because it's something to do with the way the clip is, and I think maybe it's because I work in the forest a lot, that they lift out. They get lifted out. They get that hook, that pocket clip gets hooked on a branch, and then I am relieved of my $150 knife, and I'm not going to do it anymore. So we need an alternative, something that I use every day, all the time. What do we replace it with? No more clipped knives for me. I'm done with them. Until I completely give up my lifestyle here and something really changes in my life, that's it. I'm not going to lose any more of them. So that means, what do we got? We have a sheath knife, a fixed blade knife, which I've tried. That doesn't work for me. It's too big. There's too many things on my belt with an extra magazine and with the gun. I don't want that. I can't. I've tried it many times. I've tried multi-tools. And these are fine if I was away from my shop, but working from home and being home all the time, I can't have this big hunk, heavy metal piece of metal on me. I don't like it. It sticks out, it catches on things, and I don't like it. I know that there's a place for them. I know that they're wonderful. If I was going to be working away from the home and I wasn't like really close to my tools, you betcha. I think they're wonderful. They're great. When I go on vacation, I take it with me. But as far as EDC, for me, I'm not saying for you guys, everyone's case is different, but for me, it does not work. I've wanted to make it work. It doesn't make it work. So how about a lockback? Again, a lockback knife, like a classic buck folding knife, that's going to be on the belt again with the sheath. I don't want that. I don't want it. So that leaves us with what? An in-the-pocket type of knife. Good enough for Granddad, wasn't it? Speaking of which, this is my granddad's collection of pocket knives, starting from the war, World War II, up until the most recent knife that he had and carried right before he passed away. I'm very lucky to have these. I dug these out. It's very interesting. So here we can see, as I was looking at these last night, I don't know the story on all of them. I don't know, but I can we could do a little forensic investigating here. Why do you think you retired this one? Yeah, well, if we open it up, we can see he worked as a mechanic, the tip broken off. It's a case, an old case knife. And this blade here, the sheep's foot, as he always called it, sheep's foot, really a lot of filing. He must have carried that for a long time, all the pocket lint still in there. But imagine the handle broke and he retired it and then bought another one. I don't know if these are in order. I know this one is. So we have here, what's this? This is a Wiss. Why was this knife retired? What was wrong with it? It looks like the scales and everything are good. But if you see the sheep's foot here, again, a lot of sharpening on that, you can tell. The main blade has been broken off. Well, I can't really get it out there. Here's the small blade. It still works. But I would imagine that Granddad retired that because he broke the main blade. So that one went away. This one here is probably one of the nicer ones. This is an old K-bar. I didn't know they made knives like this, but there's a lot of things I don't know about knives. K-bar, it's got all its blades. Wicked sharp. I was really surprised. A lot of you can see the old marks from the sharpening stone there, K-bar. That's a kind of a cool knife. It could definitely carry this one. There's the sheep's foot. And this one has a really strange blade there. It's almost, I thought it was an awl at first. It's got a chisel grind on it. Don't know what that was all about. But that was obviously one of Granddad's pocket knives. I don't know why he retired that one. Maybe he didn't like, I don't know. Then we got this one here. Stainless steel. Don't know the make on this one. But you can see that missing a blade. And I had, in his box, I found the blade. So this knife came apart and it just failed on him. Oh, here we go. This is a, what says stainless? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's an old one or if it's a, who knows what that. And then for years, Granddad carried, I remember him carrying for quite a while, the old timer, the Charade. And when I looked at this, I grew up with Charade hunting knives as my first hunting knife, and they were a good quality knife. They rusted real quick. They had a lot of carbon in them, but they were easy to sharpen and they were affordable. They were really nice. They were nice knives for hunting, and I still have my first one. And they always stood for quality. Were just a good value and a good knife you could rely upon. The first thing that I noticed is, remember those, they always said old timer in there. I thought, well, that's a shame. That shouldn't have happened. I would not expect that from Case. And I know that this is the last knife that Granddad had, and I think he had several of these. But we can see here, to my dismay, what do we have there? China. Made in China. Any wonder why the old timer badge fell out? The more I looked at it, the more I held it, I could just see that it's just not what they once were.